Illusion shot!
The night is cold. Stars shine.
Busted. Game's up. Fun's over.
Barbados, guide us. Shine down! Inazuma shines eternal! There is no escape!
Not now. Cold. Learn to command.
Prepare yourself.
Gotcha.
So soon.
My guiding stars. Don't be scared.
Busted.
Shine down!
Can't run from death.
There is no escape!
The night is cold.
Here comes the catch.
Bullet flash! Swear by my sword! Shine down! Illusion shot!
My guiding stars. Cold. Learn to command.
Game's up. Fun's over.
Now you shall perish!
Can't run from death.
There is no escape!
Gotcha. Here comes the catch.
Don't be scared.
Barbados, guide us! Shine down!
The night is cold. Cold. Learn to command.
Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
Illusion shattered, torn to oblivion.
Quietly now.
Shine down.
My guiding stars, don't be scared.
Game's up. Fun is over.
Go and fly! Wind, hear me. There is no escape. Now you shall perish.
Gotcha. It's time to pull the trigger.
The night is cold. Stars, shine.
Busted. Here comes the catch.
Swirl, Mark 2. Stand clear. Absorption test. Animo test. 6308. Hold. Line to command. My guiding.
Quietly now.
Shouldn't let your guard down.
Stars, shine for me. Not now.
Game's up. Fun's over. Take it easy.
Animal hypostasis emulation. Absorption test. Animal test 6308. Don't be scared. My guiding stars.
Gotcha.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
Here comes the catch. Quietly now.
Hold. Line to command. Not now. Absorption test. Stand clear. Swirl. Mark 2.
Things are about to get dicey.
Stars, shine for me. My guiding stars. Animal test 6308. Absorption test. Enhanced animal module 70.
Riptide.
Cold. Line to command. The night is cold.
Busted. Here comes the catch.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Don't be scared. Not now. Stand clear. Absorption test. Animal hypostasis emulation.
Quietly now.
Riptide.
Cold. Line to command.
Busted. Game's up. Fun's over.
Animal test 6308. Absorption test. Stars, shine for me.
Things are about to get dicey.
Enhanced animal module 75. Stand clear. My guiding stars. Cold. Line to command.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
Not now. Stars, shine for me.
You can run, but you can't hide. You're pretty good.
Swirl, Mark 2, Animal Test 6308. Absorption test.
Busted. Game's up. Fun's over.
Oh, mine's a command.
Riptide.
Let the wind lead.
The night is cold.
Quietly now.
Barbados! Got this!
Go and fly! Stars, shine for me.
Things are about to get dicey.
You can run, but you can't. Amateur mistake. I'm quite impressed.
Not now. Don't be scared. Go and fly! My guiding star.
Quietly now. Game's up. Fun's over.
Stars, shine for me.
Wind, hear me!
Take it easy.
Cold, mine's a command.
Things are about to get dicey.
Not now.
Riptide.
Don't be scared. Go and fly!
Barbados! Got us!
Gotcha. Busted. Game's up. Fun's over.
Cold, mine's a command.
You can run, but you can't hide.
The night is cold. Stars, shine for me.
Wind, hear me!
Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey.
Riptide. No time.
Cold, mine's a command.
Game's up. Fun's over.
I swear by my sword!
Go and fly! Don't be scared. Not now.
You can run, but you can't hide. Who's next?
What is the situation?
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey. Gotcha. No.
My guiding star!
Illusion shattered! Torn to oblivion!
The night is cold.
Busted.
There is no escape! The Winter Shogun approaches.
Gotcha.
My guiding star!
Here comes the catch.
Now you shall perish! Illusion shattered! Clear skies can do nothing to hide the brilliance of lightning. Divine...
Ad Astra. Thank you for complete. Ad Astra.
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey.
Cole, learn to command. Not now.
Barbados, guide us.
My guiding stars. Stars, shine.
Busted. Here comes the catch.
Cole, learn to command. Not now.
Things are about to get dicey.
I swear by my sword. There is no escape. Inazuma shines eternally.
My guiding star.
Shine down.
Game's up. Run's over.
Don't be scared.
Wind, hear me. Who is one?
Stars, shine for me.
Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey. Quietly now.
Illusion shot.
Don't be scared. Not now.
Who is one? Barbados, guide.
Busted. Here comes the catch.
Shine down. Now you shall perish.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
What should I try this time? What should I try this time?
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
What should I try this time?
And Astra Avisask. We meet again, you two.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's...
Wait.
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the audience upon finishing the poem.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. It appears that... In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the...
Hey, that's not any better.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the mercenaries will have some interesting
Paimon's gotta ask. Just who exactly...
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just...
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often. Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. When did you get into her head? From when she said, add Astra Abyssos. So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zerus Festival, except in my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumi... I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high above the... You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zerus Festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets to... Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? What? No! We aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just... By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she... Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, we can only... But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring... Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like this? So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the Sage's activities. As for how we should pull that off, let's discuss it somewhere else. There are too many adventurers around here. Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing Catherine for a... Let's continue our chat here. Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate this? Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now... I've already tried that. But all the key members of the Academia, it seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha. Of course, it could also be because they're wary of me. Have you already caught the sage's attention? I'm guessing not yet. But distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to the urban In any case, I probably can't take over... No way, that's too... You mean it'd be too easy to... No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students in this. A single doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish goals. How is that any different from this? That's a good point. Spoken like... We're in the dark as of now, since we still don't know anything about their goals. And after all, every person in Sumeru City... Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the actual proposal. Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas serious. Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people, then I should find someone who's already involved. But you're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he acts alone, and he likes doing stuff behind the Academia's back. Actually, I already have someone in mind. Setaria. Paimon remembers now. We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. You could even say we're old enemies. Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she... I've always liked observing all kinds of... She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the Academia, and also gave her the opportunity... Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon... The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone later on. She was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the daytime sky to complement the sun's dazzling light. Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth many. The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it be? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes. From the sound of it, Setaria's just hung up on the research, but she doesn't really support the Academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? She's just... Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of guilt. But before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny her part in... Right. We must somehow... That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, from my past observations, Setaria will take a day off from the Academia every 10 days to do... Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. That'll... To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots, and to have a quick... This should be Setaria's favorite fortune-telling spot. So Should we ask the... No, I already have enough information on Sataria. The most hacking style?
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fate? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods.
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to...
Shh! My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. Can we get a fortune reading for—
Of course, of course. In that case... It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Love prospects? Oh, the gods, one who is fated to cross your path will appear on... Huh? So many people will fall for you. How could that be? Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial matrix is, suboptimal. As such, there will be no charm.
Is that so? Well,
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit...
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls? Yep. It belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Samari City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the deep...
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some pottery?
we caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came—
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use of the knowledge provided to me by the Akatsuki.
That's nice! You're making a living doing something you love!
So is your father still working?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough Mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retire.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave you to it.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure to meet your
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia, so she always comes by whenever she's out in the city. Nahida, you've really thought of everything! It's my duty to protect Samari's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember.
If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about—
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it into the academia due to my lack of talent. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars, and I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get to the academia after their next round of exam.
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing.
Sure, but you'll find hard.
So this restaurant has a basement as well?
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private.
I see. Yes, that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia.
So, was that everybody? 3 familiar faces should. What's the point of all the information we've collected? Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems. So we must. I remember you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormuz are all making a fuss. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot. Oh, Paimon gets it now. You want to take advantage. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. Well, King Deshret is long gone. And Sataria is also too smart to. If we simply engaged her under the guise of King Deshret's believers, she would definitely be weary of us, and we may not get anywhere. But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her, her reaction would probably be very different. So, you mean you're going to. Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply they've already converted to the faith of King Deshret, and then convey our made-up will of King Deshret. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria. So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to Exactly. So, best of Best of luck? That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal. That is pretty convenient. But why does he have to do this? Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good. You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine. If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things are now, I probably should just accept it and push on. Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be borrowing them for a little while. Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow afternoon.
Navigate. The world is a whole lot easier with a few different identities to choose from. Need me to come up with some for you? Here she comes. Sataria's here. Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking, as for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say. Paimon's starting to feel kind of. Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me is a very different... are you still
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right?
Okay then. You just... Strange. Your cats seem I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they? Harut and Marut.
Ahem. So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today? You must have come for another echo of the...
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've...
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods are asking, Sitaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone... home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Sitaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be truly upset.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere apology. And, if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, King Deshret.
King Deshret? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Wait a second. King Deshret passed away even though news of King Deshret's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire. It's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can King Deshret still exist in...
What insolence! I am King Deshret's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa! She just ran off in a hurry. Well done. Sitaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core. Aw, Nahida, it seems like all I know are some abstract Harabata theories. And in any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly useless. I'm still trying to make sense of Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry. He's out of Keem's now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away!
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I have been thinking a lot of... Actually, while we're talking about him...
Yeah, he's been retired there for...
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Let him know that recently, faith in King Deshret is... He has a quick temper, and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those King Deshret believers because of a difference in beliefs.
Oh? So, who are you siding with and all? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray King Deshret, and now you spend all your time with those crooks.
Akeem, you don't mean... You've also become a believer of King Deshret?
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this! You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything. Come on! Sataria's already started talking with Shishan!
So, Shishan, have you noticed anything weird in this? Like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. Speaking of, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing in the report indicates.
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never—
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted to King Deshret as well.
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by side with the Academia.
Please, please stop!
Even now, Sataria's still trying to run from her.
She can no longer justify everything to her.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards!
This is the most important part of—
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matcha right away.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what—
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
King Deshret! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's alone.
Miss Sataria, nothing is
You know my name?
King Deshret is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price.
You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared.
Child of King Deshret,
never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers of King Deshret. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the Sage's plans. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while carrying such—
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just—
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the Academia and its sages, and to correct— If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could—
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me. Please tell me, what can I do?
How much do you know about the sage's current activities?
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the subs. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are still quite wary.
To fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to the
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closely monitored all. Let me see. Let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up the documents tomorrow evening.
The academia entrance. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't be a trap. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the
All right, I trust you.
So, if I were to...
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Arch...
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of wisdom, she's also the one responsible for judging, and maybe it's time for me...
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to... The Traveler's execution was ingenious. Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go off without a hitch.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of the scholars?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway, let's meet again tomorrow evening at the Adventurers Guild. That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind.
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need to...
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out the chance that the meetup tonight is just a trap. If something were to happen, my existence may be the only trump card we'll be able to play. After all, the academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my consciousness.
Yep. Exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just make sure to be on our guard. Off? What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night.
No, I think he's right. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not sure if this is the case for the entire city, though.
Huh. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Sataria figured out a way to not only distract the guards, but also to get everyone to go to sleep early, just so we can exchange the documents in peace.
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But now that we're here,
Well, regardless, as long as you... There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the academia, and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards.
this hour of the night.
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
Oh no, what should we do? These are all just regular people. Leave now. You need to get out of here. What? That guy's a Fatui Harbinger! We can't just leave you here! Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru! Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
This should be far enough. Paimon needs to catch her breath first. Is Nahida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger here, let alone such a high-ranking one. That guy was number 2. So scary. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him. Sataria did say that someone who once got expelled from the academia came, and that even the sages are wary of him. Yep, sounds like she must have been talking about the Doctor. Yeah, now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just dealing with the... But what are the Fatui after this time? Another Gnosis? Yeah, things would be a lot easier with Nahida's help. Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. But we can't just keep waiting around, right? You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by the sages? Even though he turned it down at the time. There's no time to lose.
Hold it right there! A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you, all right. Take a look around.
Are you mercenaries from the Corps of 30?
Corps of 30? We're nothing like those government lapdogs. We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of Sumeru.
The outcast? But why wouldn't the doctor just send the...
Still wasting time.
You're up, Traveler!
Just following orders.
The night is cold.
There is no escape! Ha! Inazuma shines eternal!
New punches.
Ha! Shine down!
Not now.
Torn to oblivion!
It isn't over yet. Here comes reinforcements.
Gets dicey. Wind, hear me!
That was pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenaries are like? Yeah. Looks like we'll have to keep... But this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough opponent. He knew exactly where to set up an ambush. Did he... going up against smart people is tough. Oh, it's the Traveler and Paimon. What are you two doing back here? Kale! It's nice to see you again! To be honest, I'm not doing too well. My Elazar has been progressing at a faster rate lately. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule. He will only allow me to stay here and coordinate other people's tasks. Oh, Kale! Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on patrol? We're here to talk to him. Oh, Master Tainari? You just left the... He left? What? Isn't Tainari always... I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher above everything. No, I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. He also made sure... to leave in such a hurry? Master Tainari originally studied in the Amorta Darshan of the Academia, and Pardis Thiai is something like the Amorta's research base. Many rare shrubs and grasses have been planted there for research. I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time conducting research at Pardis Thiai. A research base, huh? Gotta wonder what kind of research Tainari just decided to work on all of a sudden. Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Pardis Thiai. Don't worry. I'm fine. I'm used to living with Elazar by now. Got it. Will do. 感动的再会，气氛都要被你给……泰蒙，旅行者提防现在的我是非常明智的，毕竟博士展现出过类似操控人们意识的技术。分别之后，我独自面对博士时发生了就像一场灾难般的暴雨过后，地上的积水有时也能伪装成天空一样。我觉得能讲出这么微妙的比喻的人，只能是真的纳西。我刚才不是想博取信任，只是想要讲的。好啦，我们知道啦。纳西达，快说说，你们离开的时候，我正在全力修复所有民众的意识。好在博士所说的将信息投放，而是类似在民众的脑海制造幻觉。以我当下的所幸在他即将把我控制住的一刹那，我还好。博士这一招的确很出其不意，倒也没有那么好。在修复民众意识的过程中，博士已经看出我的真实身份了。我们的底牌又少了一张，而且他既然有能力对虚空终端进行改造，或许捕获我的意识。是说让你没法再这样自由跳转意识了吗？那可怎么办？他现在在教令院，的确有可能继续对虚空动手脚。可恶，有种被玩弄一样。而且据说博士好像单凭武力也完全能够做，还不是灰心丧气的时候，想办法找。对了，纳西达是怎么知道我们要来禅那园的？你是听？是的，我能够感知到旅行者身上的元素力，循着这股力量移动的方向推断出来的。你们来这里应该不是为了观光吧？我们是来找以前认识的一位学者，叫提纳里。记得贤者曾经主动联系过他。好吧，但愿如今的……
旅行者，是旅行……
你是海巴夏？
天哪，可真是令人开心。
这位是我们在道成灵时候遇见的修行学者，当时正在那什么，灵居狂语期。
是啊，我们可是老朋友了。正巧我来这边之后，没什么人愿意。
海巴夏，你开心过头啦。话说你居然已经离开……等等，不对，难道说……
你说呢？我之前已经在意识中见过。
真的吗？恭喜恭喜！
能跟你们分享这份崇高的喜悦，可真是让人快慰。与神明意识相通的那一刻，那
么厉害！
这样啊。哦，对了，请等一下。当时我说，等我获得了真正的智慧，也许……而现在的我呢，不仅拥有了智慧，甚至还能……
这也能做得到吗？我闻所未闻。不过，如果你想尝试，
等一下哦，我带了些灵芬香来。
又是那种熏……
好了，现在握住我的手。准备好了吗？
我曾3度遭到背叛，因而懂得世间万物不过是欺瞒的幌子。我的愤怒绝不平息。其一为神，我的创造者，我的母亲；其为力量所左右，舍弃无用的我；其二为人，我的家人，我的朋友；其为恐惧所困缚，视我为可憎恶之物；其三为同类，我的期盼羽翼尚未丰满的鸟雀； 因为受限所控制，违背与我的约定。人绝不可信，神亦令我憎恨。我舍弃所有，否定并嗤笑人间一切。我的胸膛不会再被世俗染指，并弃掉人类低劣的情感。我空洞的部分，将如诞生之刻的纯白卷轴那般，以满载神性的至高神明之心来填满。无需恐惧，疼痛只是一瞬。你们的时代就要结束。
这是我们看到的是伞兵的过去吗？可是海巴夏口中的神明又怎么跟……
看到了吧，感受到了吧，崇高的神……唉，可惜我的胸腔里跳动的，却是一颗肮脏的……
看出来了吗？这可不是什么寂静圆满期，恐怕它是……
你为什么对我这么凶呢？我找到了神明的智慧啊，我应该被
海巴夏，
明明应该是这样啊。等等，难道说是我已经疯了吗？
等一下，周围不对。好像到这里就没有人追过来了。你还好吗，纳西达？不对，
现在又是旅行者本人了吗？
之前一直是纳西达在操控你的身体，似乎是凯瑟琳人偶被破坏之前，他将……然后缇娜里听到声音赶了过来，帮忙一起击败了那些佣兵，随后我们便一路逃到了这里。啊，互换？那么纳西达的意识呢？他现在
意识居然可以这样随意转移，若非亲眼所见，简直难以置信。对了，刚才逃走的路上，你体内的那个意识，博士已经找到了禁锢意识的方法。但即便是没有月亮的夜晚，一众星光……
可恶！这下子他留下的话就只有这些了吗？好像有点不明不白的。我懂了，博士已经捕捉到了纳西达，即便是没有月亮的夜晚，一众星光亦足以刺破虚幻与谎言。我知道月亮、虚幻与谎言都源自花神诞祭时候的炼金占卜。 星光好像也是纳西达用过的比喻，好像是跟赛塔雷有关的。哦，这么说确实是这样。可是没有纳西达在了，我们真的没问。
派蒙刚刚提到了净善宫，你们口中的纳西达，也就是之前旅行者。
你的猜测是正确的，请。
没关系，学者的好奇也不是完全不讲求实意的。至于情况的复杂程度，我和你们相处过一段时间，而且看起来
谢谢你提那里。对了，我们之前就想找你问，你对贤者们正在进行的工程有……
这个嘛，我的确曾受邀去参加那项工程。我只知道，那项工程应该事关世界树的修复。
是和纳西达互换意识的时候见到了什么吗？什么？
依据呢？是吗？原来如此，怪不得海拔下的症状与之前那些疯掉的
提那里是因为海拔下才离开稻城陵的吗？
是的，我留意到了海拔下的精神失常，但症状又比较特殊，所以我偷偷带他来到禅那园，寻找。如果不这样做，海拔下现在恐怕已经被风纪官们流放到沙漠中的阿如村了。话说回来，我原本也知道教练院一直轻视小吉祥草王，可的确没想到，他们会做出创造新神这般傲慢自大的事。没有接受他们的邀请。果然是博士和伞兵，两个愚人中的执行官都在须弥吗？不过，至少从你的描述上看，工程还没有彻底完工。可说起来，创造新神与修复……
是呀，感觉贤者方的目的，我们至今还摸不清楚。现有的情报也整理的差不多了，还是先动身吧。提那里呢？
我还是打算先留在这里。海拔下那边的情况，去沙漠的话，你们可以先到喀万翼，这是通往沙漠地带最便捷的路线。如果还有什么我能帮上忙的，请再来这里找我。
好的，也希望海拔下能够好起来。那就。终于到达喀万翼了，穿过前面那堵，我记得这堵墙好像叫做防沙壁，是用来隔绝外面的风沙用的。这么高大的墙，应该是大慈树王的神迹吧？
别在这里发呆，过来，跟上我。这边。
Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
Where did he go? How did we lose him? They were just hit.
More Eremite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time? Anyway, Traveler, it seems like we were being followed again.
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed at the
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. We never... Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon...
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. I can't say that I didn't However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremite's honored...
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the divine knowledge capsule. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, Which brings me back to you, and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the divine knowledge capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something.
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the Academia after all. So considering that, it is indeed wise to keep your cards close to your... But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the divine knowledge capsule. No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of, you two are also headed...
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't really have...
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else. Well...
It's always better to travel with someone you know. Let's...
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa. This landscape is really something else. Wow.
Sino. Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
Oh, Hatham. Do not think you can escape my judgment just because you managed to escape my attack.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a—
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra, as well you know.
Seemed to me more like your own personal touch.
Who is that, Al-Haytham?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed academic crimes.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Haytham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out of his mouth. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise...
Has Al-Haytham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Al-Haytham, take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this capsule mean to you? And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all— As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about you. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal.
You two? Ugh! What should we do, Traveler? Paimon feels like we can't trust either of them!
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone that we can You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these two are gonna—
Yeah, sure looks that way. 2 giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aruville? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds. Hey, did either of you hear a word I just...
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's...
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take cover!
Someone's calling for us! Oh, this wind is too...
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you Academia folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop yelling.
Well, this is pretty awkward. Hey, wanna play sardines with 3 people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? Sounds fun. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru Village.
Our savior has come at last! Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for helping.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister. Unlike those guys over there.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, we should return to the topic at hand. As a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar, even before the sandstorm started. And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no threat whatsoever to us. So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another, and put your hostile feelings to rest. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sandstorm.
Oh, on second thought, Paimon?
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like to hear. So,
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start talking.
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide. So there's no shame in While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious man. Rather, a little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did as General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request. But I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence, I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the very... Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to judge us. I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the academia of today. I believed it would be wise to flee the academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can no longer see nor... I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scared. Well, Sino, if that's your story...
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between Al-Haytham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we deserve it.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me,
the most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me. Their words contained one key piece of information. Namely, that divine knowledge indeed exists. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the Academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the divine...
Criminals do love to talk about coincidence.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance. You were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Alhaitham helped us out at Caravan Rebot to...
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly... After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous...
You should be well aware, Scribe Alhaitham, that curiosity can also lead you to Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the Academia. Do you really think they would tell me
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced out. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler and is currently recovering from her illness at home. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here, but then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style. In that case, welcome back, Dia.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Creatures? In the sandstorm? Are you...
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
The winds died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright? Maybe we should go out and check on her.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are as chatty as the floor.